Happy New Year. As we turn the calendar to 2023, we want to thank you, our loyal WagerTalk Sports Memo and Gold Chief family. Thank you not only for your business, but for your feedback, suggestions, and criticisms, as it has helped us grow to become the #1 sports betting information company and leader of the sports betting videos and content, with WagerTalk TV now having over 110,000 subscribers. To welcome in 2023 and to thank all of you for your support, we want to give you 23% more on any All Sports All Access pass of 30 days and longer. Buy a 30-day All Sports All Access pass and get 7 days free, a $99 value. Buy a 90-day and get 22 free days. Buy a full year and get 84 free days, which basically takes you through March Madness of 2024. No coupon is needed, and the added free days will automatically appear. Just head to your favorite handicappers page and you will find these specials loaded. This special offer is only available until midnight on January 9th, the night of the College Football National Championship. For myself and everyone at the WagerTalk Media family, Happy New Year.
Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome to WagerTalk Media. This is Carmine Bianco, and this is Stoppage Time. This is a weekend edition. We normally look at EPL games, but EPL is taking the weekend off. There are a lot of FA Cup games this weekend. So we're going to look at a couple Serie A games, or a Serie A game. We're going to look at a couple big games in La Liga, as the top of the standings there is jam-packed. Barcelona and Real Madrid battling it out. We'll look at their games this weekend. And then we're going to do an FA Cup game. Two teams who are playing today in Premier League action will face each other on Sunday, as Chelsea head over to face Man City. With me on today's show, it's Nick Borman and Kevin Dolan from WagerTalk, and another WagerTalk guy today. Paulos has the day off. Bryan Power, who's been on this show a couple of times while Nick was out gallivanting throughout Ireland. Bryan steps in, and he did an admirable job last time, and we've got him back on again. Welcome, boys. How's it going? Anybody? Kevin, we'll go to you first, Kevin. You're the farthest one away.
Just give me the nod, Carmine. Give me the nod. I'm all good.
It reminds me of that. It reminds me of that show, Kev, where I said to you, "Close it off, Kev. Close it off," and you're like, "Close what off?" A couple of years ago, Kev, both you and I were on the Spurs yesterday. Tottenham, an ugly first half for them. Where they didn't do much, but that second half was a sight to behold. First half was Antonio Conte ball. Second half was anything but Antonio Conte ball. They came out, scored 4, and win that game comfortably. Quite the day, quite the game for that Spurs team as they bounce back off that 2-0 loss at home.
Yeah, and I mean, that was our only play last night in the EPL. Plus 121, so nice winner there. And, we had 2 plays last night. We had a 5% top play as well over in the NBA, Miami Heat -4. Absolutely miles ahead of the market. Eventually closed up -8.5, but unfortunately, Dennis Schroeder had an immense game for the Lakers, but overall doing really well, especially soccer. And we've got another big play locked and loaded for tonight as well, so looking forward to that.
All right, looking forward to it as well too. This is this weekend there are so many good games. And Nick, I'll bring you on next before we get into the games that I mentioned. But you got some XG numbers first today in the 2 games that you're going to be covering. You're going to be covering that first one with me, AC Milan and AS Roma, and then you're also going to cover. Along with the King of Spain, Kevin, you're going to do the Atletico Madrid Barcelona game. I always enjoy those games, those ones that There's El Clasico, there's the Atletico Barcelona game. Those are ones I always enjoy each and every each and every season with these teams in La Liga. I may not have the success you guys have with La Liga, but I still love that league and love watching it. It's such creative, inventive football.
Yeah, and it's they're both good matchups. And if you noticed, every league as they return back from World Cup, the schedule makers were not dumb, I guess is the best way to put it. Every week, the very first match, it was a high-profile team versus a weak team. And then the week 2, when they came back, then the big matchups come. And that's what we're looking at here. Everybody's got their second game back, and we're seeing a lot of the big matchups here for that. So looking forward to cover that. It's been a great return to club football, up over 49% in the last, 2.5 weeks since club football has returned. So hopefully we can keep that going through the weekend. And I'm excited to break down these games with you guys.
Keep it going, Nick. I'm going to get one of those, during the pandemic when there was almost no sports whatsoever, I put together a competition at WagerTalk, and I ordered one of those heavyweight belts. And it was for like a rock, paper, scissors competition that Johnny Detroit ended up winning. Yep. And I sent them that belt. He's got it somewhere, that championship belt. I'm going to get one for European football. And at the end of the year, I'll award it to one of the guys, whoever on the show has the best record at WagerTalk is going to get that belt. I know Kevin's going to probably want it because he's a big boxing aficionado, but you guys are going to have to rip it out of my cold, dead hands is what I'm telling you. But Bryan, welcome to the show, man. You were on a couple times, did an absolutely fantastic job, loved your takes, and I had to get you back on a regular basis. So you'll be on one of the 2 shows each week moving forward. How are things with you?
Great, and thanks for having me, guys. Coming off a nice day, 3-1-1 overall. Yesterday, had a win in Serie A with Roma. That was nice. Took the early 1-0 lead. That held up. Could have been a 2-0 sweep, but West Ham could not hold the 2-1 lead. But we'll settle for a win and a push overall on the pitch. And then, like I said, 3-1-1 when you include the basketball from last night. Had a nice outright win in college hoops. Big card today in basketball, and looking forward to breaking these games down with you guys, obviously. Thank you for having me. And then getting back on the pitch for the weekend.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be busy. It's a great time in sports with everything that is going on right now. Just a ton of action. And right around the corner, golf starts this week. Nick does absolutely fantastic with golf. So I'm going to have a little bit of a special for you guys. I'm going to throw a curveball at Nick a little later on in the show. But I want to mention a show special that we have going on right now for the guys who are on this show. You can a three-day soccer pass is normally $49. I'm going to give you a 7-day pass for $49, the exact same price. It expires Sunday at midnight. Just use the code STOP7. Grab a 7 days soccer all access package from the drop-down menu. Use STOP7, and it'll knock that price down to $49. I have a 5% play going today. It goes for $35. You might as well grab 7 days of soccer for $14 more. It's a great deal over at WagerTalk. All right, let's get right into it, guys. AC Milan and Roma. Let's have a look at the numbers on this one. Milan at home, minus 114. The draw is plus 269. Roma here is plus 315. Nick, you and I are going to look at this game, but I'm going to go first, and I'm going to leave all the XG stuff to you because you're fantastic with that. This is probably, for me, the most intriguing match of this weekend as far as the Serie A games go. You know, both teams kicked off their restart since the World Cup. AC Milan, a win on the road, 2-1 at Salernitana. I'm telling you, that game could have been 4-1 or 5-1. Memo Ochoa, one of my favorite goalies, the Mexican national goalie, absolutely stood on his head in his first game for his new team, and that game finishes 2-1. I pushed on that. I had Milan -1, and then Roma, of course, kick off against Bologna, win 1-0 at home, and that defense under Jose Mourinho is playing so well right now. I think the 3rd fewest goals they've allowed this season. And it's one of the reasons why I want to take the early head start with this team. Nick always mentions taking that early head start. Roma, you're going to get plus half a goal here with Roma. Now, last 4 or 5 4 or 5 matches between these two. It's been all AC Milan. But Roma's playing extremely well right now. They're 5-2-1 on the road this season, losing only to Udinese 4-0. But they were at San Siro late last season before the World Cup break to play Milan's city rivals, Inter Milan, and came away with a 2-1 win. They're playing extremely well right now. I'm going to take the half a goal here with Rome. So Rome half a goal is my play, Nick. I'll send it over to you. Give me your thoughts.
I like it, Carm. I couldn't agree more. I mean, getting the head start on Roma makes a lot of sense. I'm going to look at the total angle and go with under. So the head start on getting a goal makes sense because I just don't see a lot of action here either way. Luckily, it's the second game back for both teams, so we saw a little bit of what they did here in this first match. Milan 2-1 win, Salernitana probably could have been 4-1. Ochoa might have had the goalkeeping game of the year so far. I mean, they put up 3.8 expected goals, 3.1 expected goals on target, yet they only netted those 2. So fantastic performance by him, but still a win for Milan. And then you got Roma. They scored via that 6-minute penalty early, as Bryan mentioned, and then that was enough. And that's kind of been the pedigree for them this year is their defense. They lead not only Serie A, but they have a lower XGA number than Barcelona, than Man City this year. 0.67 expected goals allowed this year for Roma, easily ranks number 1 in the league. Milan, they're very good defensively as well, a little higher, 0.99 as you can see on the screen, but they're both very good defensively. The only, I guess, worry on the total for me here is that Milan, they've allowed 2 goals on 4 different occasions. They've kept just 4 clean sheets on the year. And then the alarming trend at home for them is that they've conceded in 6 of their 8 matches, with all 6 of those finishing over the total. But this is not one of the bottom of the table teams where they can, throw up a couple goals themselves. I think it's going to be tough sledding in the middle of the field here. Roma has been very, very good against quality opponents. They've played Napoli, Lazio, Atalanta already, allowed just 1 goal. They've played Inter and Juve on the road, and they allowed just 1 goal. So all 5 of those teams, they've allowed just exactly 1 goal to. In all 5 matches, they haven't allowed more than 1 expected goal to any of those teams. So I just don't see a lot of chances. Sure, either of these teams are capable. They have plenty of good talent that, even a low-quality chance, they can find the back of the net. But I just don't see a lot of good chances here. And usually if that's what you're expecting, then over time, you expect that the goals won't come with those chances. So I just don't see a lot of action or a lot of good quality from either side here. The other trend I'll throw out there, one just as another win to the caution to the win to the caution, whatever you say. Each of the last 4 meetings between these teams has gone over the total, but I'm going to buck this trend here. The lowest correct score odds on the market right now is 1-1 total, and I think that's a very likely score here. That's plus 600. So I'm going under 2.5 goals, minus 125 for this Serie A matchup.
Yeah, Nick, and I like that. Before we head into the next game, I like that. And sometimes those exact score markets can lead you in the right direction. And I get it. You look at a team like AC Milan who score goals and are very good at home. I think they're in 8 matches, they've won 7 of 8. The only game they lost to was to Napoli. But you look at it, sometimes you think 2 very good teams, we're going to see some goals from them, but you only have to look at yesterday's game with Inter Milan and Napoli, and that game finishes 1-0 with two very good teams. It's more of a tactical game than anything else. And when it comes to tactics, Jose Mourinho, even though he's getting on in his years and his managerial career, tactics are his thing. We may not like it, but it's almost kind of like we talk about Conte ball, Nick, with them. So.
True.
We'll see what happens on the weekend, but this should be and likely will be the best game as far as matched opponents. I think it's the best game of the weekend in Italy's Serie A, second match day since the World Cup break. Just to let you guys know, we will do a recap at the end of the show. Each capper will let you know what they have up at WagerTalk, and you'll see their leans on the 2 games that they have previewed during this show. We're going to head over to Spain now, and we're going to look at the Villarreal Real Madrid game. We'll have a quick look at the odds on this one. Villarreal plus 235 at home. The draw plus 281. Real Madrid plus 105 favorites here. And Kev and Bryan are going to look at this game. And Kev, I'll go to you first since you are the King of Spain.
I am the King of Spain, Carmine, and I really want that belt. So I'll send you my name and digits so you can get it engraved, hopefully, before I get it sent over in December or whenever you're planning on doing it. But yeah, in terms of this match, like, it is an interesting game here on Saturday because what's been happening over the last few months at Villarreal, has been a bit bizarre in all honesty. They obviously go from one of the most settled units in all of club football. We know that. They won the Europa League. They dumped your beloved Juventus, along with Bayern Munich at the last season's Champions League as well. So, there were a team always thereabouts in the domestic league as well, hovering around that 7th spot. But, Unai Emery's departure from the club back in October really did upset the apple cart with this club. The Villarreal president came out. He said, Emery, what was his words, quote unquote, he said something like, he screwed us after he left to take the Aston Villa job. And the manager that they brought in to replace him, Quique Setien, he was getting players' names mixed up in training when he came in. He called one of the young players the names of his waiter at his favourite cafe. So, it was really bizarre stuff going on at Villarreal. Made all the headlines in Spain, obviously. And Villarreal then went on to win just one game under him from his 6 games prior to the World Cup break. So, this club looked like an automatic stay away from that point on, until we've seen something drastic change. But, in fairness, we're starting to see some shoots of optimism over the last few weeks. The fans saw the reopening of the Estadio de la Ceramica last week, celebrating their 100-year anniversary. There was big celebrations for that. Serie had a long sit-down with all the players as well, said there was some, obviously, miscommunication early on. That's an understatement. And that they're all now on the same page. And in fairness, that seems to be the case. They played well in that performance in that 2-1 win against Valencia last week. They're main rivals for Villarreal as well. So I'm going to jump on board the optimism train of Villarreal here. Real Madrid have never had it easy in this venue over the last few seasons. They haven't won any of their previous 5 visits over to the East Coast. And on top of that, Villarreal have a 60% clean sheet record in the first halves of games this season as well. So I expect this one to be tight early on Saturday. There definitely, seems to be some vibrancy back in this Villarreal locker room after last week's celebrations as well. And, I think that carries over to this game. So Villarreal catching plus a quarter goal in the first half is going off at minus 135 right now. And I like that. This Villarreal team are a tough nut to crack at home. They're well capable of getting on the score sheet as well. They've failed to score in just 17% of the home games this season. So if Real Madrid do eventually find a winner in this one, it'll likely come late. So, Villarreal for me plus a quarter goal in the first half against Madrid on Saturday.
Catching a quarter goal. I think we're catching Nick fever here. Both you and I are have given out plays where we're taking a head start before they even kick off the game. Bryan, I'm going to go to you next. And, the top of that La Liga, 38 points each, Barcelona and Real Madrid. Early on, it was a slow start for Barcelona, just to mention that. And I have a futures on Barcelona to win La Liga this year. And I didn't like the start, but I like where they are right now. But you look at these two teams that we're discussing here, and Villarreal with the second best defense right now as far as numbers go, allowing only 11 goals through 15 games. But this is also a Real Madrid team that have scored the most goals in the league thus far at 35. Where do you see this one going?
Yeah, first, both clubs have been playing well. They pick up the win in the Copa del Rey. Real basically played its second string. Villarreal hangs 5 goals on a lesser side as well. And when I look at these teams relative to where I think they should be in the table, I think they're at where they should be, like right at Real's second in expected points. They're second in the table. Villarreal's 7th in expected points. They're 7th in the table. But you mentioned the defense of the goals allowed, Carmine. And here's my issue with Villarreal. When you look at the expected goals allowed versus actual goals allowed, no La Liga side has been luckier when it comes to conceding. If you look at XGA, they're second, as you mentioned. They've conceded just 11. But XGA says they should have conceded about 18. And I'd call it a deserved win against Valencia last week. But they got the game winner pretty late. It was the 88th minute. So I don't want to bet Villarreal in this spot. One thing I can guarantee is we're going to get more goals from this fixture than we did from either last season, both of which were goalless draws. So I wouldn't call the both teams to score prop a great value at minus 185. But as Kevin laid out, it is a safer bet than taking Real Madrid. And that's where I would look here. I would take both teams to score if you are inclined to lay that juice.
All right, and I like that too. Listen, sometimes the market leads you to where the market leads you, and we talked about it. And in one like this, I think obviously with that number there, you have to figure there might be some goals in this game, especially if Villarreal get out front early. You know that Madrid can always find their goals. Is a super talented team up front there. Before we get into the next game, actually, let's just get into the next one, and then once Nick finishes his analysis, I'll give you guys a bit of a promo deal. But we're going to look at Atletico and Barcelona. Let's look at the numbers on this one. Atletico Madrid plus 222. The draw is plus 247. Barcelona plus 122. Some beautiful plus numbers right across the board. Kev, I'm going to go to you first on this one. Again, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and Atletico looks to be shopping Joao Felix right now to a couple teams. I know that I'm a big Juve fan, and Juve said they're not opening up the checkbook for him for the amount of money that Atletico is looking to loan him out for a 6-month loan. It is ridiculous, but give me your thoughts on this one. Does that even factor in? Is that white noise for this Madrid team?
Well, he's definitely a key player, so it would factor in. But you mentioned, a couple of minutes ago how you've been impressed with Barcelona this season, and you're definitely not the only one. Yes, things obviously didn't go to plan in the Champions League for them, but that makes the domestic title challenge even stronger this season. I picked them in the La Liga preview show we did back at the start of the season. I thought they were decent value. And even with that Europa League run coming up as well, what a humdinger of a game we got in that first knockout round against the rejuvenated Manchester United side as well. Really looking forward to that one. But, as I said, I've just been super impressed by them in the league this season. Barcelona leads the league in total possession this year. They lead in shot conversion percentage. They lead in defensive XG. They lead in defensive XG. I mean, right across the board. It's been an absolute stats masterclass by Barcelona this season, despite the relative closeness between them and Madrid. But, they do face an Atletico side here on Sunday that, perhaps look to be turning things around ever so slowly. Had a tough start to the season. They beat Elche last week, but... no one's going to send out the victory parade over, beating Elche, in fairness. But, since November 1st, Atletico have allowed the second fewest goals allowed in the league. So, maybe Diego Simeone's finally starting to get a handle on things there. So, in regards to that, I'm going to go with a prop bet in this one. I'm going to go with the exact team total goals for Atletico Madrid to score exactly one goal. And that's going off a plus 120, which is widely available as well. This is something Atletico have been able to do quite consistently in this fixture. They've scored in 7 of their last 8 meetings against Barcelona in this venue. They always play better at the Metropolitano. I hope I pronounced that right again. And they're definitely capable of getting on the score sheet in this one as well. The issue I have for Atletico is that Barcelona's defense has been so on point this season. We already mentioned they got the lowest defensive XG in the league, but they're also the only scoring defense in the league this year that still ranks in single-digit goals allowed. It's absolutely unreal run. So if Atletico do get on the score sheet in this one, it'll likely only be just the once. So, I like that plus money prop on Atletico to score exactly one goal in this game in what I expect to be, a 1-1, 2-1 Barcelona type of result this Sunday over in the Spanish capital.
All right. I like that play as well, too. I don't see a ton of goals in this one. That's not the way Atletico normally play. And as you mentioned, Barcelona, only 6 goals allowed, 34-6 goal differential is absolutely amazing. Those are numbers you normally see in the Premier League when Liverpool or Man City are dominating at the top of the standings. And this year it is Arsenal that's doing that. Nick, I'm going to go to you next on this one for the final word on Barcelona Atletico Madrid. Let us know what you're looking at.
Well, I know the usual point of Kevin and I breaking down a game is just to try to get us on opposite sides so we can call each other, idiots as we try to battle back and forth. But listen, I got to give credit where credit is due, and I agree 100% with what Kevin's saying here. This is probably going to be a low scoring match. Barcelona, Kevin hit it on the head. I mean, their numbers this year are just leaps and bounds ahead of everybody. Yet they're kind of one of those teams that always does that, where they don't necessarily they put up great numbers, but they don't always get the results there with them. But the one thing that is just so true with them this year is just how good their defense has been. 0.71 expected goals allowed this season, 7.3 shots, 2.4 on target. All of that leads La Liga. So you got to expect that they're going to do a good job defensively in this match. They might not score a lot, because that seems to be what their issue is. They get a lot of chances. They have Lewandowski, for God's sakes, and they still don't always get on the score sheet, or no, I won't say they don't get on the score sheet, but they don't score what they should be scoring. And that's a reason on this game. It's another match I'm looking to be tight and low scoring, and the under 2.5 is priced evenly at -110. I think it's great value. If you look at the trends here, Kevin mentioned, Madrid generally plays a little bit better here at home, but they do struggle to score a lot of goals at home against Barcelona or in this series in general. And each of the last 5 meetings, guys, at Atletico has finished under 2.5 goals. It's also, I want to bring this up as far as just very interesting angles, and I think I'm going to jump on it when I see the price. The card props aren't out yet for this match, but this is a very cagey, very fun rivalry as far as these teams don't like each other, and there's usually a lot of cards in this match, more so from the Atletico side, because generally they are the one trying to get the result, and at home they tend to have a lot of cards in this history of this match. So in the last 8 meetings at home for Atletico, dating back to the 2016 Champions League, Atletico have been handed an average of 3.8 cards per match. They've accumulated at least 4 cards in 6 of those 8 matches. So the card props, like as I mentioned, aren't out yet. And if you normally 3.5 cards for the entire match, maybe 4.5 is a pretty high total. So if there's a over 3.5 card match for just Atletico, I gotta imagine we're going to get a pretty high plus price on that, and I'm very tempted to take that. So can't do it yet, and I will be watching to see when those come out what that's going to be. But just keep your eye on that, guys. I think it's got good value, perhaps depending on the price, that we can see a lot of cards on the Atletico side. But overall for this match, I think it's going to be a straightforward under. I think it's going to be tight both ways. 1-1, another correct score that's probably going to come true. I love Kevin's play for Atletico just to get that one. I don't see Barcelona getting more than that either. He's right about Atletico playing better. So under 2.5 goals here for me, guys.
All right. I like it, Nick. There was a ton of yellow cards in the first set of games since the restart after the World Cup break in La Liga, and we saw some red cards as well too because of it. It was a crazy opening or reopening week in La Liga for sure, guys. I just want to mention something for Nick. Nick also obviously does. He's very good in golf. I've made a lot of money with Nick's golf plays throughout the year. So, and Nick has where you can get his full season of golf for only $199 over at WagerTalk. I love giving away other people's things for free. So I'm going to toss something in. If you get Nick's 1-year golf package, all access golf package, the Australian Open kicks off in about 9 days, I believe, on the 14th, I think it is. We'll give you Nick's Australian Open picks, that package, for absolutely $0. So you get that, buy the tennis, 1 year all access, and get the golf all access, and get his Australian Open picks for free. So that is a great deal. I'll let our customer service know that anyone who buys his 1 year golf will get his, which is under $99. Will get the Australian Open package for free, which is a value of $49. That is a great deal in itself. Sorry, Nick, I'm just giving away stuff. Wait till I give away Kevin's boxing for the year. Final game on the card. This is an FA Cup game. Man City and Chelsea, who face each other today. Man City minus 200. The draw is plus 258. Chelsea, a juicy 531. Bryan, I'm going to make this quick as far as my analysis, and I'm going to go to you on this one. You know what I mean? One of the toughest things on betting FA Cup games, guys, is especially the early rounds. You don't know with these big teams who is going to be in the lineup. Players sit because of the congested schedule. You look at in the EFL Cup. These two just met a little while ago in the EFL Cup in November. Holland didn't play. De Bruyne didn't play. Foden, Silva, Stones, all on the bench. They were still able to win that game 2-0 at home and or win that game 2-0. But this is one of those games, this FA Cup game, where I think we're going to see all the starters in there. And it's just because if you look at City's congested schedule, they have an EFL game 3 days later out Southampton. That's probably where they rest the players, because after that, their next 6 games contain the following opponents over a 30-day period before Champions League restarts. Tottenham twice, Manchester United in the Manchester Derby, and then a trip to Arsenal, the team they are chasing. They won't be resting players in any of those games, so you can expect to see them all today. You expect to see them all in the lineup on Sunday in the FA Cup game. Rest them against Southampton. And then it's full steam ahead. I see goals in this game, and this is what I'm getting to eventually. The total in this game is 2.75, which is a split line of 2.5 and 3. And we'll see what happens today in Premier League action between these two. But I just see goals in this one, and I think this total we get past this total quite easily. So over 2.75 is the play for me. Bryan, give me your take on this one.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that. Now, of course, as you've mentioned, it's a little harder to handicap this one because they're going to play each other in a couple hours. So I'm not going to get officially involved until I see what happens there. Interesting, Chelsea has not scored against Man City in any of the previous 3 meetings. Lost all 3, including that 2-0 loss you mentioned in the EFL Cup, Carmine. And I thought Man City, like a lot of people probably do, I assume, on this panel, absolutely deserved the full 3 against Everton last weekend. They win the XG battle 2.36 to 0.08. You just got to tip your cap to Demarai Gray for that goal. But City had to be kicking themselves after seeing Everton get crushed by Brighton earlier this week. Chelsea, man, I don't even know if they deserve to be 10th in the league right now, guys. Their only win since the Champions League was against Bournemouth, a 1-1 draw against Forest, not exactly an inspiring result from over the weekend. And while they've lost only 1 time at home in league play, they've lost 4 of 9 away. So, not at home here. I don't know, it's a nice looking price, but I certainly can't endorse Chelsea. So I'm with you, Carm, on the over here. I do feel a little shameless that I gave a first play at minus 185. So looking for some value on this one. If you want to look at the prop market, Man City winning exact score 2-1. That's plus 650. Holland to be the first goal scorer, plus 230, both at FanDuel, if you want to check that stuff out. But I am with you on the over on this one. That would be my official lean as of right now.
All right. I love it when we agree. And Bryan, you don't pay juice on winning wagers. So that's all that matters with regards to that one or both teams to score. I love that prop in games. When I get the right price, I'm juice tolerant. So when it's over 200 is where I back off, and I'll look at ones where it's both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, and you can get that in the minus 120 range or so. Okay, guys, we are going to do our recap segment. We're going to start off with Kev. Kev, our production will get your plays up on the screen, but tell us what you have up at WagerTalk for today and any plays that you might already have up for the weekend.
Yeah, we got an EPL best bet up for today, Carmine. We've also got an NFL Blitz double pack already loaded up on site for this weekend as well. I have been absolutely crushing it in NFL. I was the number one profit leader over the weekend. We went to 3-0 sweep. I'm 11-2 on NFL side bets over the last couple of months as well. So we're absolutely dominating in that sport. So definitely getting board that. And promo wise, New Year 23 is still available to get a 7-day all access pass of all my plays for only $23. So yeah, looking forward to a big week ahead.
All right, best of luck. And anyone who's doing well in NFL, I always love it. It's such a difficult sport to beat, but I just absolutely love the NFL. I'm part of Bill's Mafia, so we'll see how my team does this weekend as we close off. I think we close off our season this weekend. We'll see what happens with that Cincinnati game. Nick, I'm going to go to you next. Let us know what you have up at WagerTalk, and we'll get your leans up on the screen.
Yeah, thanks, Carm. For today, I also have a play in the big Man City Chelsea game. I give you options. You can either just take it straight, or I did throw an option there where you can do a parlay for over plus 350 odds, which it's too hard for me not to get a piece of that. So that's my play going on for today. And then you already mentioned the promo I have going on. Golf is back officially today. First tee tournament tees off here in about 2 hours' time, and that's out in Hawaii. And you can get all the rest of the 2023 PGA Tour season, which goes through the Tour Championship in August for $199. I play outrights and leaderboard bets. Hit 4 of them in the fall swing, up 34% so far since September, since the new season started. So hopefully we'll continue that. And as Carmine mentioned, beautiful addition there. Aussie Open tennis starts in less than 2 weeks' time. You'll get that included for free with that full season golf package.
There you go. And Nick, best of luck with those. I've already talked to Missy in the office. She's prepared for anyone who picks up the full year of your golf plays to also add the Australian Open package to their account. So that's already been taken care of. You get 2 sports for the price of 1, which is great. Bryan, I'll go to you next. Let us know what you have up at WagerTalk, and we'll get your leans up on the screen.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me again, guys. It's great to be here. Great to be here. Great to be in the rotation moving forward. Going to be sad to see the Bulls go, guys. Been a great Bulls season, 69% overall, 7-1-1 with sides 4% or higher. That includes 2 for 2 on the 5% plays. Got a miracle comeback with Kansas, and then at Ohio State, which was wire to wire on New Year's Eve. That was an excellent way to end 2022. Mentioned I went 3-1-1 last night, including a win and a push in soccer. We are going wild today on Thursday. It's been kind of a slower start to the week by my standard. I like a lot of plays. I've got 6 plays currently up. You can get them all for $29. All underdogs, 2 in the NBA, 4 in college hoops. Really love today's college hoops card. I might actually be adding a 5th college hoops play, making it 7 plays overall today. So you can check that out on my page. Going to work on the NFL up next. So that should be there in 24 hours. And looking forward to having a big weekend.
Awesome. And best of luck to you. And thanks for dropping in again. And we'll see you, of course, next week. Myself up right now is a 5% play in soccer that goes today. You guys saw that promo that we put out at the beginning. You can get 7 days of soccer all access for the price of 3 days, which is $49 by using the code STOP7. And you know, the 5% play goes for $35 itself. So for $14 more, you can get 7 complete days of soccer and all the games that are going this weekend. There are a ton of games. My leans on the show, of course, were Roma getting the head start at plus a half a goal against AC Milan in Serie A action in Italy. And of course, in the FA Cup, Man City and Chelsea over 2.75 goals, which is a split line of 2.5 and 3. Guys, we'll be back on Tuesday with more domestic league action as we keep trotting through until we can get to the Champions League and Europa League knockout stages, which I absolutely love. So we'll be back at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Listen, all I can say is thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button. And as always, guys, good luck with your wagers.
Happy New Year. As we turn the calendar to 2023, we want to thank you, our loyal WagerTalk Sports Memo and Gold Sheet family. Thank you not only for your business, but for your feedback, suggestions, and criticisms, as it has helped us grow to become the #1 sports betting information company and leader of the sports betting videos and content, with WagerTalk TV now having over 110,000 subscribers. To welcome in 2023 and to thank all of you for your support, we want to give you 23% more on any All Sports All Access pass of 30 days and longer. Buy a 30-day All Sports All Access pass and get 7 days free, a $99 value. Buy a 90-day and get 22 free days. Buy a full year and get 84 free days, which basically takes you through March Madness of 2024. No coupon is needed, and the added free days will automatically appear. Just head to your favorite handicappers page and you will find these specials loaded. This special offer is only available until midnight on January 9th, the night of the College Football National Championship. For myself and everyone at the WagerTalk Media family, Happy New Year.